What it do? It's DOA niggas back with another episode of Putting Shit Together. Today, man, it's a special day, a special episode. I told y'all League of Shadows, man, I had something in the works that was big. And I'm here today to announce that I have gotten my gun rights reinstated, man. So I promote all of the League of Shadows members to definitely be gun owners. But today we gonna cover a firearm, our first firearm on the channel, man. And that's that Glock 23, man. The Jordan Glock. You feel me? And this is what I would call this is like a easy, user-friendly firearm right here, the Glock. This is why I'm starting off with it, because this is an easily accessible firearm. It's very easy to use, and it's a good, reliable pistol. If you're trying to get your first firearm, or even if you just looking for something good to add to your collection. But I would definitely say for a first firearm, this is a good one to have, that Glock 23. Now, I would also say, usually I tell people to get shotguns first for home defense, because a shotgun is a very versatile weapon. You can shoot the buckshot to the slug. They make all kind of different custom ammunitions for the shotgun, and you can always find a gauge that will be manageable by any type of shooter, from your most advanced to even a child. You know what I'm saying? I think the first thing I came up shooting was a 410 shotgun, a 410. Now I'm up to the 12 gauge and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But you can always get a gauge with a very manageable shell inside of it. You know what I'm saying? Low recoil shells, you can get those, as well as, you know, smaller gauges that don't have as much kick as, say, a 12 gauge would. But on the handgun side, I would definitely say the Glock is one that you should get. Now, I'm normally a Springfield Armory type of dude, but the Glock is a widely used by police, law enforcement, military. That's who make the Glock pop. The Glock like a fucking Crown Vic, you know what I'm saying? The Glock is like that police issue type pistol. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if it's good enough for the police, it's good enough for me. You see, because like I said, the militias we supposed to be forming are supposed to be comparable to the military and police. You see what I'm saying? So if they getting it, it must be a reason why. Now we need to get it. You know what I'm saying? Now the popular Glock is the 19. This is, I believe, a Gen 4 23 right here. A fourth generation Glock 23. But the Glock 19 is a very popular gun as well, because the Glock 19 comes in a 9mm. And for some reason, you know, the 9mm is the highly pushed ammunition right now, because they made a lot of advancements in a 9mm ammo to where you can get some pretty heavy hitting 9mm ammo, and a 9mm is a very controllable ammunition, meaning the recoil kickbacks on it is kind of low, and yeah, everything like that. So it's a very user-friendly ammo, the 9mm, and it's widely found out here. So, like, you know, the stores, you know, sometimes the stores, they running out of ammunitions and different shit you can't find on the shelf, but the 9mm is such a widely used round that you can usually find it. You see what I'm saying? But this Glock 23 is a 40. This is a 40 S&W. You know what I'm saying? This is the 40 right here, that 23. But I'm a fan of the 40 caliber pistol. I like the 40 caliber. They got nice knockdown power, but me being a more advanced shooter, it's nothing for me to control it. You know what I'm saying? I can definitely control the 40, so it's no issue for me. But if you have shot a 40, don't like the kickback on it, maybe get that Glock 19, you know what I'm saying, with the 9mm. But also, another option is that they make barrels for these Glock 23s for the Glock 19 too. I believe that you can switch it out and make this into a 9mm. And I think you can also get a 357 barrel that you can swap this barrel out and you can now make that into a 9mm. You know what I'm saying? So you could get that fucking 9mm barrel for the Glock 23, and it's like you got two guns in one. 9mm barrel, I think it take a different cartridge that's gonna hold a 9mm shells. So you change out the barrel and the cartridge, and you got yourself a 40 and a 9mm. So that's one of the big things that's good about the Glock is that you get that type of versatility where you could have two guns in one. And it's not a lot of pistols that you can do that with. But another thing I like, these is easy operational. They don't really have a safety on them, which some people might be afraid of that they don't have a safety. But I always tell a motherfucker, if you ain't got no bullet chamber, the gun ain't shooting. So if you a person that's scared to have a Glock with no safety and carry it around, just don't chamber the bullet. Don't cock it back until you need to. Now, a lot of people was like, man, if you ain't got one up top, what the fuck you carrying it for? Now, I can agree with that to some degree, but man, if you know how to operate your shit right, you can get that motherfucker out and get one up top real quick. And you in business, you know what I'm saying? But if you're in a situation where a motherfucker might get the jump on you, now I would more recommend carrying a revolver for those type of situations. If you go into some sketchy places where you might be liable to somebody jumping out on you with a strap already, man, I'm an advocate for the revolver for real. Double action revolver is gonna be my go-to on that, and I love revolvers, but the Glock not having that safety mechanism on it makes it easy. You ain't got a lot to think about. It ain't a whole bunch to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just cock and blast. You see what I'm saying? Which, that's good for a beginner user of a firearm. So I definitely advocate for, pretty much all the Glocks, they about the same, to be honest. But the real popular one is the 19 with that 9mm, and then this 23 got the 40, right? But one of the big things that I like about the Glock that really urged me, because this might have been the last gun I caught, maybe not, but I got it later in my collection, right? But what really pushed me to do it is the high capacity magazines. Now, some of y'all might be in places where it's not legal to have the high capacity magazine. Now, if that's the case, then damn, I hate that for your ass. You know what I'm saying? But we got the 30 round magazine that can go into the 23. Now, this is not all pistols can you get the high capacity magazine for. You know what I'm saying? This one come locked and loaded. I think it carried like 13 in the standard magazine, maybe 10 out of the small magazine, 10, then it's 13. But then you can jump up to the 30. You know what I'm saying? The 30 round. And getting 30 rounds out of a handgun, especially in a 40 caliber, like, man, you got a lot of stopping power with a handgun. And that I like. You know what I'm saying? I got some other pistols like the Springfield XDMs. They come with a pretty high capacity regular magazine. You know what I'm saying? Not an aftermarket magazine. They might carry like I think one of my Springfields carry almost 20 rounds, like off the dribble. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you can get this 30 round, and they definitely got the trigger safety on there. but that's just, I don't really consider that to really be a safety. But it stops you from, like, if you sliding the gun into a holster or it get hung up on something without it depressing button this little button right here on the front trigger, it's not gonna fire off. So you can't make a mistake by, like, sliding it in somewhere and it go off or something like that. So that's a good thing. But yeah, man, that 30 round, that's that was a seller for me. Cause I'm just a dude who's like, shit, why have a whole bunch of different magazines when you can carry a lot of bullets at once? I like that. And I think the Glock 19 does it. The 18 is a different, that's the one that got the select fire, that they don't really sell those to the general public. But I believe the 22, the 23, the Glock 36, maybe one or two other Glock versions, you can get the extendos all the way up to the 50 round. You know what I'm saying? So that's a seller for me. Only a few different models of pistols by other companies can you get, an aftermarket high capacity magazine. I think I done seen, like, Smith and Wesson maybe doing them on a couple of their models, but like Springfield, they wasn't doing them. Uh, they might now. I don't know. Correct me in the comments if they have started doing them, but I know a lot of companies don't make these extendos. You know what I'm saying? For their pistols. So that's a leg up that Glock got. Now, what made Glock popular is that they got the poly body with the metal top. You know what I'm saying? But HK, I believe, was the originator of that type of pistol. They got the polymer frame on it. So they really jacked that from HK, but they kind of made it popular. HK is a great brand of pistol as well. That's also been commissioned by law enforcement at some point in time. I think the military used to carry HKs, but Glock is just way more popular. You know what I'm saying? And they say they're super reliable. I haven't had any trouble out of my Glock thus far. Um, but some people say they always shoot, they never jam. Like, I don't know. I ain't gonna tell y'all that. You know what I'm saying? Cause I've seen a lot of different firearms jam, and it's not always due to the construction of the firearm itself. Sometimes you get, like, cheaper ammo. The type of metal casing that the ammo has might not jive with your particular firearm well. So sometimes they'll hang up. Like, I got a AR that it don't like that tool ammo, that TUL, that tool ammo. And I think is it still probably steel case tool ammo. My AR don't really like that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's like a bargain ammo. But sometimes my AR hang up on that shit. One of my ARs at least. So I just stay away from that type of ammo. That's why it's good to go out, take your shit to the range, take your shit to the woods or whatever, and get comfortable shooting it. Whatever it is that you got. You know what I'm saying? You definitely want to try it out and try it in real world type of scenarios. So that means if you get, a certain type of ammo you like for personal defense, man, run some of that ammo through your gun in at a capacity or a rate of fire that you might use in the event of an emergency. Because you want to know how your fucking firearms is performing in real world type of situations. So no matter what you get, I always recommend some range time. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, when my page get bigger and people start supporting the page, you feel me? The Cash App Doty Mobile Services. Send your boy a couple coins so I can buy some ammo, take this out, do some videos, and show y'all some different firearms being actually fired. Because right now, I'm just in the studio. I'm just giving y'all the rundown. But yeah, like I said, man, that 30 round, that's a selling point for me. And then you got up to the 50 round drum. This the drum. Pro Mag drum. You know what I'm saying? Made in the US, Pro Mag. So you got 50 rounds of 40 caliber right here. That'll get you out of a jam. You know what I'm saying? And it got some nice weight to it. Of course, when you got 50 rounds of some damn 40 cal, it's got a little weight to it, you know what I'm saying? But having the ability to carry that much ammunition around in a handgun, that's a seller for me, man. That was just some icing on the cake type shit. Just, to get this Glock 23, because I love 40s, and for it to have that type of versatility, man, I really like that. You know what I'm saying? I think this is one of the YN's go-to guns. You feel me? With these drums and shit. But I ain't no YN, but I appreciate that high capacity magazine. You feel me? So if you looking for something like a starter pistol, man, I recommend the Glock 23, man. Or if you need the 9mm, man, and you just a strictly 9mm person, get that 19. Go ahead and get the 19. But if you want that 40 caliber kick, man, if you still repping the 40 like me, go with that 23. And if you need something to switch out, get you a 9mm barrel conversion kit. Keep it in your stash just in case, because let's say we in a disaster type situation and you done ran all of your 40 caliber ammo out, but you got this 9mm barrel you could swap out in your 23, and you end up finding, because 9mm ammo is gonna be around a lot. Say shit hit the fan, 9mm ammo is gonna be highly available. 9mm ammo. So having that backup conversion barrel for your Glock 23 is probably a good idea, just for some survival shit. Have that in your fucking survival gear. So in case you running out of 40s, man, and you come up on some 9s, you can swap that out into your 23, and now you shoot 9mm, you back in action. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know I be on my survivalist shit. So man, it's gonna be more of these videos coming for sure. Y'all can recommend what straps y'all want to see, but I got my own collection. I'm gonna be covering them, covering some of these straps that I already got, just to show y'all, what's what out here, and what's the highs and the lows of some of these firearms. Now the Glock, it ain't got a lot of lows to me. It's a nice feeling strap in your hand, very reliable. Like I said, it's like a Crown Vic. Crown Vic was the police issue. So, parts are super accessible. It's dependable. It's been battle tested. So you really ain't got a lot to worry about when you talking about these Glocks. For most of these models, like, just the two that I've been talking about mostly, the 19 and the 23, you ain't got a lot of issues that you got to worry about, other than it not having, like, an extra safety on it, and it's, having that conventional double safeties like some of these pistols do. That's would be the only thing I could say would be a downfall. As far as finding parts for it, they're highly accessible. Finding holsters for it, highly accessible, like an iPhone. You know what I'm saying? So that's the good thing. Not a lot of minuses. And I like shooting it. It's a good gun, easy to handle, and yeah, pretty reliable thus far for me. So yeah, in conclusion, man, it's a pleasure having y'all tune in, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good shit, man. As always, it's peace and love, truth and light, wisdom and insight. DOA, putting shit together. To the next episode, y'all. Peace.